When you master one thing, you have the experience and the ability to master something else that you desire. To master something, you have to be constantly involved. You have to be present with the process. And to master something, it usually takes 10,000 hours, approximately 10 years to do this. So it's not easy, but it's the constant increments that increases that helps define, mold your uniqueness in what you do want to master and within yourself. I mastered writing music in my own unique way. I did this around age 13 is when I started, and I was just kind of searching. I didn't know what I was doing, just looking out there, searching around, seeing what really grabs me. And eventually, I caught on. I knew that if I wanted to do something, I would have to basically shut myself out from the world, the outside noise, and really hone on my skills on what I want to do. I did this on accident. I didn't really know I was doing this. So, when I did this, I strayed away from that in a point in my life. Lost. Not searching. When you're not searching, you're lost. You're involved in the outside world, the noise, the monotony, the boredom. And when you stray away from your true self is that process, that 10,000 hour process, not the end goal, not where you want to be in 10 years. It's the now, the increments of the now, the finding out what you have, the ideas that pop up. That may not be yours. Who knows where they come from? That's why it's important to not be constantly involved with the outside noise, because when you do, those thoughts, those emotions, that evil, that narcissism, that anger, jealousy, it grows out there and manifests within you. We all have it, yes. But when you're constantly around it, you internalize it and it becomes you. So wherever you're hanging out in the noise in the outside world, you manifest that inside. That's what happens. That's why it's important. I consider myself like a lone wolf. A lone wolf likes to be alone, which means not being lonely, because it is understanding itself, going on the walks of life. But lone wolves do come back to their pack, and they socialize with their pack, and they experience that social emotion, that joy. But then when they need to go redefine themselves again, they go out on their journey. I like to consider myself that, and I like to consider all of us that. So when I mastered music, I had the ability, the experience to master something else, which is 5 years now. I have been mastering my own human behavior, understanding myself, still going on those walks of life. I started my journey of finding out human behavior with others in the world and how we're very similar but very unique at the same time. I find that a lot of us are scared to go on that walk of life and find out who we are, because we have to face what we really have: anxiety, attachment issues, fear to love, control, anger, acceptance, all of this. It's a big thing to swallow, for sure. I believe something that you master, while you're mastering it, brings you back to your roots, who your true self really is. And it humbles you because you get really good at something and you feel really good about it. But when you go to learn something new and you're not so good at it, it's kind of like a check, a reality check that you're not necessarily great at everything. So it humbles you for sure. If you've not mastered something in your life, or you're not in the process, that means that you're lost. When you're not searching, you're lost. You're out in the outside world, like I said before. And I think this is something that is dangerous. This is where we revert to alcohol, drugs, sex, anything in that outside world. We get consumed by it and it runs our life. So how do you search for something you want to master? Experiencing new experiences. That's what I've learned. Throwing yourself out there into something you normally wouldn't do with people you normally wouldn't be with. And you learn new things, new perspectives. And this helps redefine who you are. You can learn more about yourself, emotions that get brought up. You get to really hone your inner being. When you do let emotions run you, when you don't look inside, emotions do run you when you're not taking walks of life. Because you're in that pack and those emotions are contagious. And you don't understand why you're upset. You think you're upset because someone said something about you and you took it personal, where really that same situation happened when you were a kid and you grew up with that emotion that you never let go of. You held on to that emotion, and now your lens is through that emotion, and you think everyone sees you through that lens, and you have something to prove against it, that's not who you are. So what's really important is going back to that kid and understand that that's not who you are. Forgive and accept that child within you. Learning acceptance is, I believe, a skill. I believe it's something we have to practice all the time, especially within ourselves, because we will always have an emotion that pops up. Emotions pop up first, and we have the choice to accept that we are human beings. We have emotions. We need to accept that. Then you have a choice to hold on to that emotion, to act through that emotion, or you can change your attitude and really look at the situation at hand. That you accept yourself. So if you accept yourself, you're a human being with others, you should probably accept as well.